Some important dates. So obviously Saturday, March 11th, first practice. March 23rd and 24th is a coaching clinic. Anthony Munoz will be our speaker. And Anthony is a friend of mine, a Hall of Famer, one of the best left tackles to ever play football. And I know our coaches are going to be excited to hear Anthony Munoz talk about his development as a man, as a football player. We're excited about Wednesday, April 5th, LSU Pro Day. Our team is going to be here to support these guys. We welcome all the NFL coaches here. It's a big day for LSU. We have more guys on the NFL roster than anybody. We want to continue that tradition. And we're going to have a tremendous day that day. Our team is going to support our guys going into Pro Day, and I expect it to be a great day. We have April 8th through April 16th, we have spring break. April 22nd is our spring game. As you guys know, we'll be playing it at night. We're excited about what's going on here. I'm excited about being the head coach at LSU, excited about our staff.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar. I am Tommy Krysan on Pelican Sports TV, the internet, PelicanSportsTV.com, and of course Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Cox Cable, AT&T, UVerse. My co-host for this week's edition of Tigers Roar, Rick Green, LSU baseball player, College World Series champion, member of the Olympic team, first-round draft choice of the Detroit Tigers, big league baseball player. Rick, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Tommy. Thanks for having me again.
Well, you know, it's baseball season, so, you know, we bounce around here on Tigers Roar and post-game and different things, and certainly we want to talk a lot of baseball, but with the opening clip of Ed Orgeron and the fact that spring football starts, as you know, having come from Miami to Baton Rouge some 20, almost 30 years ago, I guess, football always likes to get talked about around here.
Yeah, there is no off-season for football, and that's okay. It's a great tradition here, and part of the reason why I came here. So, you know, we got spring practice starting up, but baseball in full swing as well. So, you know, we'll get the best of both worlds and talk about all of it.
So you say part of the reason you came here, all right? You were in Miami. Your high school coach was Dan Canterbury, who was assistant to Skip Bertman for a long time, currently the assistant to Roger Kadar out at Southern. Did you go to a football game on a visit, or tell me why you made that statement, football is part of the reason you came here to play baseball?
Well, I just knew that it was a big part of LSU, and when I was being recruited by LSU, it was baseball was on the upswing, and football was actually coached by Mike Archer, who's from Miami, and Bill Arnsparger was associated with the program, who was with the Dolphins. So I knew there was a connection there. But, you know, I did go to a baseball game when I came here on my recruiting trip, and then Tiger Stadium being in the outfield, you just got that feeling that you knew it was a special place football-wise as well. So it was a small part of why I came, but I'm glad I did, and obviously.
Well, and you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Skip Bertman obviously recruited you, or was it Randy Davis at the time, or
mostly
or
Skip.
Beetle Bailey?
Yeah,
it was Skip.
It was
obviously
Skip.
The connection,
right?
Because he had been in Miami with Ron Frazier, so there was a lot of connections, even though you were Miami and this was Baton Rouge.
Right. When it came time to recruiting, you know, Dan told me, "Why don't you look at LSU?" And my response was, "Where is that?"
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I just wasn't familiar with it at the time, but you know, there was obviously a connection with Dan and Skip in Miami, so. Didn't really have a whole lot of talk with Randy or Beetle or Smoke, but Skip came down to recruit me and walked in the door, and Dad offered him a drink, and you know, the rest is history.
There you go. But anyway, a lot to get to tonight on this week's edition of Tigers Roar. Obviously, we will get into LSU football. We've got some more stuff from Coach Orgeron. We've got stuff from the NFL Combine relating to the LSU players. And then, of course, tonight we got to get into a lot of baseball. The Tigers took to the road last weekend, went 1-2 over there in Houston. So we'll get into a bunch of that tonight. You've got all the other sports going on, softball, gymnastics captures the SEC championship. And hey, a thing about that, I didn't know this till this week. Of course, I think we've all learned a lot more about gymnastics in the last couple of years as D.D. Bro has risen this program up into national prominence. But they won the SEC regular season title by beating the heck out of Florida last week. And what I didn't know was for many years they didn't recognize a regular season champion in gymnastics. It was whoever won the tournament, kind of like you have the
okay.
postseason baseball and the
Right.
postseason basketball tournament, which that's going on up in Nashville right now. But anyway, so you had all of that. So, so there would have been other years when they would have been declared champion, but it just so happened that it was this year because of the way they changed it, and now they'll have it coming up in a couple of weeks. So we'll get into some of that tonight. We got some New Orleans Saints for you. We've got plenty of stuff with that. And we're going to have to tip our hat tonight. Of course, this program's in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans to the fact that UNO won the Southland Conference title in men's basketball. Quite the story when you look back at Katrina and what it did to the University of New Orleans, what it did to their athletic department, and the fact that they almost eliminated things down there completely. But we're going to go Division III, Division II, and of course baseball's been on the rise lately, and Mark Schlesinger in the basketball program did a great job. We'll talk about some of that too. Rick, before we go to break, tell everybody about the Win Green Foundation.
The Win Green campaign and foundation is a part of Two Seam Dream, started a couple years ago in collaboration with a good buddy of mine, Ivan Zweig, who actually played baseball at LSU in the mid-90s. His daughter is Avery, and she's 9 years old. She's the #1 golfer in the world at her age, and she plays golf 12 months out of the year. She and I and Ivan decided to use her golf skills to raise some money for cancer research, cancer support. They selected a little girl named Sadie Killer who lives in Dallas and is battling cancer. She had 5 of her friends join her last year, and we raised about 25 grand and donated to a little boy in Monroe, Louisiana named Kason Crow, and the balance was given to St. Jude up in Memphis. This year she's basically recruited about 30 other players to do the same thing as she's doing, and over the summer they play in various tournaments all over the country. People pledge money for every time they win or finish in the top 5. The goal is right around 75 grand this year. They've got amazing prizes, which I'm not quite allowed to talk about yet, but let's just say you will be able to meet one of the top golfers in the world if you're a lucky recipient of one of the gifts. But you know, the little girl's got a great heart. She's got way more mature beyond her years. Her dad is her caddy. She bombs it off the tee and has got great support. But we're excited to do this again this year. We've got a brand new logo. We've got a lot of support from St. Jude and a lot of local support as well. So we're excited. It'll be every summer. We'll pick another recipient next year. So we're blessed, and Avery is just a tremendous young lady, and we're happy to be a part of it.
WinGreenCampaign.com for complete information. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll dive into Coach Ed Orgeron and some LSU football. You're watching Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Rick Green, Tommy Chrysan, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Here at Rejuva-Me Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support, along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day.
Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
We continue with Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Cox Cable, AT&T, U-verse. Hey, don't forget, we put this program on YouTube mid-morning Thursday. That way you can watch it at your convenience. Many of you have been doing that. We've been doing it for a couple of months now. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcast. And not just this program, but the post-game show, the Coach Roger Kadar show, Sports Shorts. I mean, there's lots of stuff there for you to go check out. Either subscribe to the channel or when you're surfing around, check out to see if we got something new posted for you. Before we get into some more LSU football, I want to tell you about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Mike Tremonti and his staff, right over there on Jefferson Highway, just down from Parkview Baptist Church and School. And two things, crawfish, crawfish, crawfish. They got them ready every afternoon. They've got specials on Tuesdays with the crawfish, and they can cater your crawfish boil, bring them to you already boiled, or they can sell them to you live and give you the seasoning you need. Crawfish, 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 Tremontis.com. And coming up Saturday, March 18th, the biggest meat sale you've ever seen. Everything from hamburger patties to a whole ribeye to prime rib, steak, sausage. The biggest meat sale ever. Save you buku money. Saturday, March 18th at Tremonti's on Jefferson Highway. Tremontis.com, 225-751-7665. Daily lunch specials, the crawfish every evening, rotisserie chickens. They've got the wine list, high-end spirits. They got ice chests, they got grills, crawfish any way you can imagine, any amount you can imagine. And the big meat sale, Saturday, March 18th. You don't want to miss that. You can have a deal. Fill up that freezer, fill up the neighbor's freezer, go buy another freezer and fill it up. A big meat sale Saturday, March 18th at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Tell Mike you heard us talking about him on Pelican Sports TV. Rick, as we continue, we mentioned LSU will start spring football practice this Saturday. They'll work out helmets only, and then they kind of space this stuff out. You and I remember back in the day when spring practice, I mean, they loaded it up. 15 practices, they were done in 16 days.
Right.
Now they space it all out. They got a pro day mixed in. They got a spring break mixed in. And then they're going to go at night with the spring game. Spring practice will start Saturday, March 11. And it's really broken up. NCAA allows 15 practices. Saturday, April 22 will be the National L Club spring game. And it will be on TV. And they're doing it at night. The last time there was a nighttime spring football game was when Jerry DiNardo was here, so that's quite a while ago. So that'll be Saturday, April 22nd, and they're going to have a day of all kind of stuff on campus. You almost be able to tailgate like you're in the fall. on that April 22nd, and LSU will release more information about that as we get closer to April 22nd. Speaking of Coach Orgeron, he met with the press earlier this week to discuss spring training, and he talked about the quarterback position, how they're going to handle special teams, which is going to be kind of unique. You don't want to miss that. The new coaches on the staff and some of the guys that he's looking forward to. So without any further ado, here's Coach Ed Orgeron with his spring practice preview out at LSU earlier this week.
Good morning, guys. Good to see everybody. Excited about the direction of our football team. We have been led by Tommy Moffitt and his staff, who I believe is Tommy's one of the best guys in the country to be leading our staff, leading our team. His staff is very energetic. We've worked hard this off season on competition, and our drills have been predicated on competition and forcing us to get out of a comfortable zone and get into a zone where you have to give it everything you have. And Tommy has done a good job of that with our football team. I believe we're bigger, stronger, we're faster. We're headed into the last week here of all season, and we're getting ready for spring practice on Saturday. Our team is excited, our coaching staff is excited. I'm really excited about Matt Canada, what he's brought to our football team, what he's brought to our staff. He's an energetic guy, he's an energetic recruiter. He coaches very hard on the field. He's a hands-on coach. I believe he's going to do tremendous stuff with our offense. Also excited about Tommy Robinson. Tommy's our assistant head coach, recruiting coordinator, running back coach. I'm excited to see Darius Geis, his development under Tommy, how he's going to get better at his fundamentals. I'm excited to see the rest of our running backs to develop under Tommy. When we was at USC, we had a young man named Buck Allen that was on the scout team. Tommy believed in Buck and put him in, and Buck became one of our best players. So I know Tommy's a big on development, and I'm looking for Nick Brossett, Darrell Williams, and the rest of our guys to flourish under him. Mickey Joseph is a high energy guy. He fits in with us. He's a great man from Louisiana. He loves being LSU Tigers. Our receivers love being around him. He's a fundamentalist. He's a player's coach. He's an excellent recruiter. He's going to do a tremendous job for us in New Orleans. I just think the thing about this, we have 3 new coaches on offense. It's exciting to come into the staff. It's exciting to listen to those guys talk. It's exciting to see guys love being at LSU and loyal to the program. And I'm excited about those guys. Looking at spring, some of the key battles, as we all know, on offense, we opened up the competition at the quarterback spot. And Danny has had an excellent offseason. He's been a leader. He's been working hard. Justin McMillan looks good. Lindsey Scott. Lowell Narcisse is coming here. He's rehabbing his knees, looking good. He's working hard out there. He's lost a little weight. Enjoying being an LSU Tiger. And also we have Miles Brennan going to ride with you. So those guys are going to be vying for the starting quarterback. It's going to be fun to see those guys flourish under Matt Canada. Like I said, at running back, we've got one of the best guys in the nation, Darius Geis, and I know he's going to improve under Tommy. Wide receivers led by DJ Chark. For the senior years, we need some young players to develop, and I know Mickey Joseph is going to do a great job of that. On defense, I just walked out of a defensive meeting. It's just good to see the defensive staff together, cohesive. Our second year under Dave Miranda, we're excited about the things that he wants to do. Again, his notebook is full, and he has a tremendous mind for football, and we're looking forward to this spring. On defense, we got to replace Duke Riley, who was here today. We're very proud of all our guys that went to the NFL Combine. We showed our team the performances of our guys, and we're proud of them. They're our family. Once you're a Tiger for life. Duke came back today and was talking about the difference. It was really good to hear. Replacing him and Kendall Beckett is going to be a challenge, but we're going to get it done. Devin White and Donnie Alexander will be playing middle linebacker right now. But we're also excited about Tyler Taylor, Jacob Phillips, and Patrick Queen. Those guys have to come in and contribute. On the defensive front, we're excited about Christian Lockature coming back. I think he brings tremendous leadership to our football team, and we're so happy that he comes back. He looks quicker, he's healthy, he's ready to go. We're going to play him at what we call the end position where Gotcho played last year. We expect him to do well. Frank Aaron's got to come along. Losing Lewis Neal and Gotcho was a blow to us up front, but we expect those guys to be able to come in and compete hard for that position. In the secondary, losing Jamal Adams and Tre'Davious Wright, 2 first-round picks, DBU and Corey Raymond, who does a tremendous job of recruiting them and development. He's very proud of his tradition that he's built here and carried on. And I'm proud of Corey Raymond. He's an excellent coach. He's an LSU Tiger, and he's doing a tremendous job for us right now. We're excited about our safeties. We've Grant Delbert, Jacoby Stephen coming in, Todd Harris. We got some guys coming in at safety. We got some guys that can play. We've been looking forward to these guys in spring ball, especially with Grant and Jacoby being here. Okay, on special teams, we will split up the duties between each assistant coach. And our guys are excited. Tommy Robinson will lead one. Dennis Johnson will lead a couple of them. Corey Raymond will lead some. Mickey Joseph will lead some. Jeff Grimes will lead some. It'll be an outstanding, cohesive effort between our staff. But I want to say this to you. We have Greg McMahon as our special team analyst. And Greg can only coach the coaches. And he will not coach on the field, he will not coach in the meeting room. But he has done a tremendous job. It's amazing to see a guy with 11 years of experience as special teams coordinator, the knowledge and the technical expertise that he has brought to our special teams. I expect a tremendous improvement in our special teams, okay? Some important dates. It's obviously Saturday, March 11th, first practice. March 23rd and 24th is a coaching clinic. Anthony Munoz will be our speaker. And Anthony is a friend of mine, a Hall of Famer, one of the best left tackles to ever play football. And I know our coaches are going to be excited to hear Anthony Munoz talk about his development as a man, as a football player. We're excited about Wednesday, April 5th, LSU Pro Day. Our team is going to be here to support these guys. We welcome all the NFL coaches here. It's a big day for LSU. We have more guys on the NFL roster than anybody. We want to continue that tradition. And we're going to have a tremendous day that day. Our team is going to support our guys going into Pro Day, and I expect it to be a great day. We have April 8th through April 16th. We have spring break. April 22nd is our spring game. As you guys know, we're going to be playing that at night. We're excited about what's going on here. I'm excited about being the head coach at LSU, excited about our staff. And any questions?
We do have more football stuff to come for you, including a lot of the players at the NFL Combine. Rick, I got to throw out a joke that was running around the internet last weekend. They said,
please don't.
Please don't? Some people thought it was funny. Some people thought it was sad.
I don't know. You want to
When
lose,
they said
if
that
you want viewers?
the Alabama fans who watched the Combine on the NFL Network, it was the first time they ever saw Leonard Fournette run 40 yards.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Well,
Good
they
for
may have
them.
saw him play another game, right? Okay, you didn't like that one, did you?
That's all right. I get it.
It's clever.
Fun.
I'm good with it.
It is
It's
clever.
kinda
but,
clever.
But an Alabama fan didn't come up with that.
You don't think?
If it's that clever, they didn't come up with that.
Bingo, 1-0 Rick. How about that? But anyway, we got a lot more football stuff for you to come here on Tigers Roar, including a boatload, not all, but just about all the LSU guys that were at the Combine. We've got some evaluations and some recordings of them and some talk in there. Of course, the NFL Draft comes up late April. I believe it's split over to April, May, the end of the month thing. In Philadelphia, right now the Saints are slotted to pick number 11. You're looking at probably 2 LSU Tigers in the first round, Jamal Adams, Leonard Fournette. Don't know in which order. That'll depend on who's picking. So a lot of that still to come. Rick, before we go to break, Tell us about the Two Seam Dream Foundation. That's something Pelican's always been proud to support and help you get the word out. Tell us about what's the very latest and what's happening with the Two Seam Dream Foundation.
Well, we're doing our annual summer campaign with the Win Green Foundation and our Win Green campaign and Avery Zweig, like we mentioned earlier. We're going to do our annual cook-off again in August at Lamar Dixon. They've been a great help to us as well, and we've had jambalaya and brisket and chicken and ribs and some great celebrity judges. Rohan Davey and Ryan Terrio and Colonel Mike were out there, along with some legitimate chefs like Frank Brightson from New Orleans, who is a James Beard winner. So we're totally blessed to do that. We haven't selected our recipient yet, but we did an Ascension Parish. Got a girl from Ascension Parish last year to be our recipient, Jillian Vickers, and she's now still, I think, in remission of cancer. So we're blessed. The Cooking for a Cure, we're looking to do our softball game again in January of next year. We took a year off just from a couple different factors with the flood and some other things, but we're looking to make that the best one ever next January, and we have a lot of support for that as well, and the Pelican has always been there for us. We're blessed that the Two Seam Dream has been around for almost 5 years now, and was started because of my dad and some other family members getting cancer, and we just want to do our part, and we're blessed, and we just have a good time with it.
The website is 2sdf.org, as you see on the screen. Lots of information there and ways that you can contact Rick to get involved, to be a part of one of the events, or make a donation, or just learn more about it. And again, as Rick mentioned and I mentioned, Pelican Broadcasting has always been happy to partner and promote whenever we can, be it television, be it radio, whatever it might be. So do check that out. We'll take a break. When we come back, some LSU stuff from the NFL Combine. That's right around the corner here on Tigers Roar. Spread the roar. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on Cox Cable, AT&T Uverse, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Plus Benefits has an important message for all uninsured Americans. It's official. Health reform has now become law. Now, uninsured Americans can finally get the health coverage they need with significant prescription benefits. Have you been uninsured, denied coverage, or struggling to pay your health insurance? Well, not anymore. Now there's affordable options with real benefits for people just like you. We know health insurance cost and being denied coverage due to pre-existing conditions has created serious hardships for many Americans. But that's a thing of the past. If you're uninsured, struggling to afford, or have been denied health insurance, pick up the phone and call now. The call is free, and every caller will receive a free discount prescription savings card. Call Plus Benefits Health Insurance Helpline today and get the health insurance and prescription coverage you need. One call can change your life for the better.
Please call 800-351-1511. That is 800-351-1511.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Rick Green, Tommy Chrysan with you. Appreciate you watching the program whenever you can. Original airing each week, Wednesdays from 8 to 10 p.m. Numerous replays throughout Louisiana. The remaining part of the week on Pelican Sports TV, as well as WHNO TV Channel 20 in New Orleans, which covers the North Shore and the Thibodaux area. and of course the ETEL cable system in Ascension Parish and parts of Livingston Parish. Rick, the NFL Combine is come and gone. You know, back in the day, when I was coming out of college, they were invite-only baseball tryout camps with the Cincinnati Reds, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Dodgers, whatever. If they asked you to come to it, you could go to it, and it'd be at one of the parks in the South. When you were around, it was a little different. You had the draft and all that, but there was really no combine. There was really no job audition or showcase, if you will. That word wasn't around in its current context back then. But now these guys get to go to Indianapolis by invite, and there's meetings, individual meetings. They meet with groups of coaches. They take tests. They do skills and drills. They're bench pressing. They're vertical jumping. They're timing them in the runs and the cone drill and all that. I mean, it's like a job fair. It's 32 NFL teams, and every one of them is represented. And they're evaluating these 330, 340 guys, putting a grade on them, and maybe perhaps selecting them. Or if they don't get selected, they sign them to a free agent contract. It's a heck of a thing to do that, huh?
Yeah, it's a extreme vetting process, and the reason is because the money in the NFL is so huge. And the funny part is when you say that, and I've watched the combine briefly, it'll put the stats of a guy up there, and it'll say he's 6'1" and 1/16. Like, they measure to the 16th of an inch your height just because it's that important. Because they realize if a ball off the fingertips, or you're a defender and you can knock that ball away because you're a certain height, it's that ridiculous. And the funny part of that is, recently it's been like people have told me such and such is this tall. And I'll ask them, are they really that tall, or are they NFL Combine tall? Because everybody kind of fudges on their height, you know, especially if you're a shorter guy, whatever it may be. But when someone says they're like 6 feet, I say, is he 6 feet really, or is he NFL Combine 6 feet? Because they will get to precise. And it's you're right, it's a job interview, and all those guys that are able to go there are extremely lucky, and you know, some of them are able to increase their draft status, and some of them, you know, it's kind of like we already knew that about that guy, but it's a great deal.
No, and they measure hand span. They go from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the finger, because you know, they have enough data compiled that they can almost, without knowing a guy's name, look at his measurables and say, well, we got to look further now. But I can go back into the 80s, Rick, when I was very involved with the Covenant High football program. My father-in-law was the head coach, and the Oakland Raiders sent a guy to his office on, you know, one day in the spring, because they were interested in a tight end who had been playing up at Louisiana Monroe, and they wanted to know who he hung out with in high school. And this is before the internet went nuts.
Right.
He wanted to know who he hung out with in the high school, what other activity, was he in the French club, was he, you know, what other things did he do, what kind of kid was he at practice, what kind of kid was he off the field, who did he, you know, they were investigating the heck out of this kid. And this was in the 80s when the money was minuscule compared to what it is now. They wanted to know everything they could about this particular kid because they were considering drafting him. Well, now this combine takes that to the nth degree, but yet they will still go back and talk to high school coaches and kids they hung around with back then. Because like you said, they putting so much money out, they don't want to miss. They want, you know, they don't want to get a surprise later and say, you know, well, oh, we found out when he was in high school he was arrested 6 times for smoking dope.
Right.
Oh, no, we didn't know that. They know it now.
It's not just an athletic thing anymore. It's a personality thing. It's a off-the-field thing. So they do the Wonderlic, and they do the personality profiles, and they do all these tests to figure out what makes this guy tick. Yeah, he was gifted athletically by his parents, but let's figure out if he's smart enough and he's capable of handling everything that's involved with all this.
Well, and then can this guy handle money? Because they're gonna have money like they couldn't even dream of.
Right.
All of a sudden in their bank account. I got a quick bank account story. Then we're gonna get to the combine stuff.
All right.
Before the internet went nuts, you remember back in the day when you could get on your telephone and you could get your bank balance? That was kind of like a chic thing. It was cool. Like, man, you could hit some numbers and it would give you your balance. Ryan Leaf, when he signed out of Washington State in the NFL, and he got like this $5 million bonus, which at the time was enormous.
Right.
He gave all of his friends his phone number and his little bank code so they could dial in and say, your balance is $4,222,000, you know, whatever. Here, call that and listen to my balance. You know, here is 19, 20, 22-year-old kid. Listen to my balance, $4,200,000. Everybody else's balance was, $37.25.
Press 1 for transfer.
Press. Let me withdraw. Anyway, I just threw that in there. I always thought it was funny. At the time, it was real funny because everybody was kind of into that, checking your balance on the phone.
Yeah.
LSU was well represented at the Combine. There were other guys from Louisiana, Tulane, an offensive lineman there. Louisiana Tech had a couple of receivers, and it was the NFL Combine. Well, we've got many of the LSU players, Bauer, Riley, Beckwith, Posick, Fournette, many of the guys. We got stuff for you to watch in case you missed it. From the NFL Combine, here are some LSU Tigers in action.
Oh, it's good. It's coming along well. Actually, I started running before I came up here. So yeah, it's going real well so far.
Would you say 100% or?
Probably about 75, 70, something like that. Yeah.
Was that the same knee that you hurt during the spring?
Shoot, I don't even know. I can't remember.
But how bad an injury was it? Because I don't think you've been hurt that much in your career.
What's that?
How bad was the knee injury in November? Because I don't think you've been hurt.
I told my ACL. Yeah, I told my ACL.
But how bad a tear was it?
It was just an ACL tear. Yeah, it wasn't nothing else that was wrong. It was just ACL.
Do you expect it to be ready?
I'll be ready. Yeah, I'll be ready for fall, especially for camp. I know I'll be ready.
What about OTAs, June? Or are you looking more end of July?
I'm looking more in July, August, something like that. Yeah.
Do you think that hurts you too much, or do you think that your level of playing a really good conference kind of offsets a lot of the health stuff?
I'm not sure. I mean, I guess we'll see. I don't know.
Was that the only major injury you've ever had?
That's the only major injury, really, the first serious injury I ever had.
Do you have an expectation for when you get drafted?
Nah, I don't. I mean, just kind of see when that day comes. When that day comes.
Some teams have different packages that they might want me to fit in as well. So that's been discussed, but I'm hearing a lot of 50-50. Some teams ask me if I can gain or lose weight, and I can do both. So it's whatever they want, I can play.
How much did having Dave Aranda come in and really install the 3-4 help you to be more versatile?
I mean, I think it helped me tremendously. I never had that in my arsenal, this year, and I think I did pretty good or decent at it. It definitely helped me become more versatile, more knowledgeable as a player, and I think it's going to overall help me become successful.
How much did you play standing up as opposed to with your hand on the ground?
It was probably 90-10 this year, standing up.
Standing up.
Yes, sir.
I know you were really excited when you got the Combine invite. Have you been surprised with the interest levels that you've shown you so far?
But it's all something you expect when you come here. They want to figure you out as a person, as a player, and see what type of guy they may want on their team. So I think everyone's going to get a lot of interviews and a lot of interest, but teams definitely want to see what type of person you are, how your character is, and how you can help the organization.
Do it, Deion Jones. So basically, he just paved the way for me, and I basically just had to do what I was always capable of and just showing up.
Scheme change your last year helped?
Excuse me?
The scheme change in your last year helped with that?
Oh yes sir, the scheme change, and I knew DC Dave Aranda. I always tell people this, he was the best thing that ever happened to me, and some of the guys will say the same thing. I'm not just speaking for myself. He made us become students of the game, and made the game slow down so much for a lot of us.
Does his name come up when you're talking with coaches and talent evaluators here?
Sorry.
Does his name come up when you're talking with scouts?
His name comes up every time I'm in a meeting with coaches, and always comes up.
He obviously made that transition a very smooth one. What's some of the feedback or advice that he's been able to impart upon you going through this process?
Just be myself, don't try to do too much. He knows what I'm capable of. He knows what I can do, and all he told me was when I'm in the meetings with coaches, just be confident and everything, because I know the defense in and out. I know where everybody's lined up. I know where everybody's going, and he just basically told me to be myself.
No one had to tell me to do extra. No one had to tell me to don't skip reps and whatnot.
How much of the game is mental, and what do you do to prepare?
The game,
it gets more and more mental every level you get at. So from high school to college, you got to know more. You got to know more technique. You got to know more. You got to know more of the game plan. You got to know your offense better. Same with NFL. Playbook gets thicker. Technique gets better. You see it. You watch a college game and you watch an NFL game. NFL game's a lot more clean. Not as many people falling on the ground. Everything. So every level, you got to be smarter. You got to be smarter.
What are you doing to prepare mentally?
I'm a pretty smart guy. I just keep studying. I just keep learning, keep an open mind, and I never let any information pass. I never shrug anything off. I listen and try to investigate, learn as much as I can about O-line play, offense, and defense. And you got to know everything.
Definitely. I remember when I was coming into LSU as a freshman, they were going through what I'm going through now, and then I was asking them how their experience was going and the things that they were going through. And I remember those conversations like it was yesterday. But still, as I got closer and I made my decision to enter the draft, I talked to them and asked them the things that helped them through this process and also be as successful as they are on Sundays on the field. And I learned a lot from those guys, and definitely ready to make an impact like they did.
As a playmaker with so much ability, but you got limited opportunities, how did you keep yourself from pressing and trying to do so much when you got opportunities?
Just knowing that when my team needed me to make a play, I had to make it. Whatever our coaches told us to do, whatever play call they made, we had to go out there and execute it. The coaches felt like they put us in the best position to win games. We had to go out there and execute that game plan. We went out there every week and just played hard and to the best of our ability. And like I said, whenever I had an opportunity, I wanted to make the best of it. So just keeping my head in the game, not worried about what's going on, just playing the game. And the love I have for the game just gives me what I need to stay in the game and not worry about what I can't control.
What makes Jamal Adams a top safety?
I feel like Jamal Adams what makes him a top safety. I feel like he is the top safety because he's very fast. He can change direction. He's a hard hitter. He has great ball skills. He possesses a lot of things that, safeties don't possess. And I feel like his change of direction and everything at his size is tremendous. And I feel like he could be moved around the secondary wherever you needed him to play. Obviously, he's a free safety, but I feel like he can play cornerback and whatever else.
Seems like my versatility. I was fortunate enough to have a great coach in Corey Raymond at LSU. He let us know, right off the bat, you're not going to be a guy just going to play one position. You got to know all three positions in the defensive backfield. So, I really thank him for that. A lot of guys, have their questions, but a lot of guys, have a lot of things to work on, so that's everybody. But it's just being firm. Am I wrapping up? Just being firm, and I know that tackling is an attitude, and I feel like I bring that attitude, and it's definitely something that I'm going to work on coming in the near future.
Physicality and temperament don't seem like an issue for you. You're a guy who's vocal on the field, verbal guy. How does that improve your game, and the teams enjoy that aspect?
I'm really not a talker though. I don't know where you get that from. I'm really not a talker, man. I really let my play do it. I feel like I can pretty much perform at a high level. I met with them last night, yeah. It went great, man. Great people, great organization, man. The meeting went well. So it went smoothly. They just looking forward to Pro Day too. They say they'll be down in Baton Rouge also. We talking football. They want to know, can I get on the board? They want to know, do I really have a real high football IQ? Which I'm fortunate enough to come from LSU. So the transition is not going to be that difficult because we pretty much ran like an NFL. So they just want to know if I really know football, and I was fortunate enough to have a great coach like I said earlier in Corey Raymond. That you have to be able to do it all, play on the field and be football smart.
Did it help you play under three different?
Absolutely. It was a test, and that's probably how the NFL is. Coaches come and go, so it's all about how you respond and you react to the adversity. And I feel like I responded well, and I was able to play great for all three guys.
Leadership is definitely my main one. As well as on the field.
You know, I can play everything in the back end, whether that's covering in the slot, whether that's playing man free, whether that's being in the A and B gap, filling that hole, or, you know, locking down tight ends. So I feel like, you know, I'm versatile to, you know, play everything in the back end, and that's what makes me a special player.
What kind of feedback have you been getting from the teams in the interviews?
You know, just keep doing what I'm doing. Whether that's, you know, film study, whether that's, you know, just being myself. And you know, that was the main thing. I'm not going to change myself, you know, knowing that I'm at the combine. I'm going to stay myself and stay true to myself, and just, you know, doing what I love to do, which is play football.
You feel like you're a top 5 guy? Or you pay attention to that stuff?
Most definitely. I feel like, you know, I'm the best guy in the draft. I definitely feel like I'm the number 1. I should be a number 1 pick. So, you know, top 5, that's definitely in the range. Yes, sir.
Do you think attitudes are maybe changing on safety? Because they don't tend to go in the top 5 very often. I mean,
Right.
do you follow that, and do you think there's
Yeah, you know, I think it's, you know, the game is starting to change as far as, you know, scheme-wise, passing. You know, we're starting to have tight ends that can run now. 4-4-2, as you see. My man Evan from Ole Miss went 4-4-2. You know, the game is changing. OJ as well, 4-5-1. The game is changing. You know, you need safeties that can do everything, that in the back end can cover, you know, can make the calls, can tackle, and, you know, just doing what the coaches are asking them to do.
I'm blessed by God, have the ability and this talent, and I work hard. My attributes to the game, my love for the game, and I just love football.
A lot of people were surprised that you came in at 240. Was that what your goal was all along?
Nah, it was surprising. I drank a lot of water before I weighed in, so I mean, it was water weight, so it went away completely. 235. That's what I played at in the season. Man, we'll see. Somewhere in the 4.4s.
Success last year helps you impress the running back?
I mean, it helped us completely. It showed that he's not just a running back. He can help in the passing game. He can run, he can block, and I think he led a great way for these running backs who's coming out right now.
When you were growing up with Tyrann Mathieu, what was it like dreaming of something like this and to actually be so close to both being in the NFL? What was that like?
I really never dreamed about being in the NFL. You know, I always played the sport. I never knew it would take me this far, but. It's just when Tyrann made it, he kind of made it a reality for everybody who's from New Orleans just to make it to the league.
He thinks he was a better running back than you growing up. You think so?
I mean, I don't know. We different ages, so ninth up, I never seen him play.
Throughout your career, what was the point when you realized maybe I can do this for a living?
I say my 9th grade, 10th grade in high school, my coach sat me down and told me I had a great ability, a great talent just to play this game. And from there on in, I took it serious. David Johnson. He's a running back coach from Memphis.
Leonard, how much talk do you have with teams about the bowl game situation, what they want to know about that? And if you haven't yet, how much do you expect as far as questions along those lines?
I mean, not really. They haven't really asked me that. You know, I expect it, but not really worried about it.
What are you going to have to say to them when they ask those questions?
Like my answer. They can ask Coach O about the whole situation. I'll tell them, you know, I take credit for it too, so it doesn't matter.
Playing in New York for the Jets, what are your thoughts on that 4K? Kind of watching that.
It doesn't matter what team I play for. You know, I love to go play with any team that pick me. And Matt Forte, he's from Louisiana, so it kind of gives me more feedback about playing anywhere. Yeah.
You say you've spoken to him?
I haven't spoken to him yet. I seen him in high school, met him in high school.
What are your expectations about how high you'll get drafted?
I mean, hopefully, man, my talent that I showcase tomorrow speaks for itself. You know, everything is in God's hand.
Have you met with him yet?
No, not yet.
Where did you train on the off-season preparation?
I was at Exos, then I went to Mr. Patron out there in Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, just to get faster, you know, work on my speed more. That's all.
How did the conversation go about you sitting out the bowl game? You said it was you know, if you had your option, you would have played. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, the conversation with my coach.
Staff, yeah.
I mean, they knew my risk. You know, it was a tough decision that we had to make as a whole, and I just dealt with it. You know, didn't go back and forth with them, at the end of the day, they're my coaches. You know, I was still a student, listening to them, and they wanted to protect my future.
And we continue with Tigers Roar, and as I mentioned, you got the draft coming up end of April. Rick, I got an interesting spin on the combine. Everybody that's there, it's an invite-only thing, so they have talent, they have skills. I think some, or maybe all, of the NFL teams go to the combine identifying a reason not to take a guy. They know Leonard Fournette can run with a football. They know Jamal Adams can play in the secondary. They know, what guys can do. I think they're there, and if something comes up that alerts them, like, hey, that's a reason we might not want this guy. Whatever that may be. It could be a measurable. It could be the way he answered some questions. It could be something in his past. So I think, they're looking for, what would make that guy fall down on our chart. The top. There's only 32 first-round draft choices, so they're not all first-rounders.
Right.
But it probably, if you went through everybody's grades, you'd have 40 guys listed as first round, and of course it's not going to work that way. Then you get trades and everything else. So I think they're almost kind of like when you scout baseball, you're looking for a reason that the guy wouldn't be successful at the next level. What do you think of that?
I mean, I don't know if that's the main focus, but as a positive outlook type boss, I guess you would say these people are. They're there to see the good part, but also keep in the back of their mind that there could be something negative. And that's what, I don't think they're looking for something negative, but if something pops up, they want to be there to at least know about it.
Much was made by the fact that Fournette weighed in at 240. And if you remember, if you go back to last summer, when Les Miles was still the head coach, this was summertime, they weren't doing any formal workouts. He said something about, thought Fournette needed to lose a few pounds. Probably saw him walking through the facility or ran into him somewhere. So a lot was made about the 240, and then of course his 40 time was 4.51, very respectable, especially for a guy that big. They know about all his other talents. So here I said on the radio in New Orleans with Eric Asher, I don't think the problem's 240 because an athlete like him at that point in his life, getting 10 pounds off wouldn't take real long.
Easy.
The problem is if the 240 turns into 245 or 250, now that would be what we were talking about. Something would come up and say, okay, if that guy keeps gaining weight, maybe he can't do the things we thought he could do at running back in the NFL.
Yeah, and then they have weight clauses in a contract to make sure that when in the off season you don't balloon up, and you have to weigh in with our guy, and we give you an extra 10 grand if you keep your weight below such and such. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to kind of police that, but you're right. It's there are certain people in this world that are just basically excuse finders, and if you don't like Fournette for whatever reason, you can't talk bad about certain things, but you can always find that one little nitpick thing and say, well, he's 240, he's not going to fit into our system, and if that's the case, then so be it. But you're right. There's things that are going to be shown up that are negative. They're going to hurt guys in the combine, but most of the guys, I think, they're looking for that positive.
Well, and then of course they talked about his weight. Then they were raving about his 40 time. Well, then they were a little critical of his vertical jump. It was one of the lowest vertical jumps by a running back since they've been doing the combine. And I said, I really don't think there's going to be a third quarter situation and it's 3rd and 1 and they're going to say, all right, let's give the ball to Leonard Fournette. Well, no, we can't do that because he had a bad vertical jump at the combine in Indianapolis. That's not on the high end of what they're grading or not grading. I mean, he's going to go in the first round. How high, we don't know, but he's going to go in the first round, and we'll just have to see where it goes and where it fits.
Yeah, so, the Leonard Fournette's vertical time is way down on his list of things that are important for a team that's going to draft him. So, he's got the skill set and he's got certain things. So his vertical, unless he needs to hurdle a guy every game, then that's not a big deal.
Yeah, so anyway, you got all those guys who are going to do what they got to do or not do what they do. And we said the draft will be in April, late April. And right now the Saints are scheduled to pick 11th, and they've got a lot of needs. And, that age-old question about the Saints don't take the LSU guys. Well, look, it's got nothing to do with that. If they think a guy makes them a better team, any team for them, they're going to take them. Now, back in the day, did you have a weight clause in your contract with the Detroit Tigers?
No, that was not really important back then. But like you said, there's so much money now, and there is no no, we're not going to take LSU guys, because the guys in those positions like Mickey and Sean Payton, they have the ability, and the most successful people on the planet, regardless of what industry, they take the emotional factor out of decision making. And you know, when they won the Super Bowl, then Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis were gods. And now that they're struggling a little bit with the year off with Peyton having, and the Goodell whole thing, and the Bounty Gate and all that, you know, it takes a long time to rebuild with so much parity in the NFL, and teams are so evenly balanced with, you know, the salary cap and other factors. You know, it takes a long time, and we're in a situation of instant gratification, and when you don't do well, then changes need to be made.
Well, and also, I mean, there's a fine line between a guy that's going to help you win the Super Bowl and a guy that's going to be on the tail end of the team with the worst record in the NFL. That guy, you know, the Cleveland Browns, 49ers, had awful seasons last year. But you know what? Their 49th, 50th, and 51st guy that they kept on their roster is a heck of a football player.
Right.
Okay, with a tremendous amount of skill and perhaps upside. You know, and there's not that big of a gap between the guy who makes the Pro Bowl and the guy who's a backup for a team that goes 2-14. I mean, same in baseball. There's a fine line.
Right.
Baseball is a little more right place at right time, and there can be some other factors when you can climb the ladder a little better than football, because there's no real minor league system for football. They've tried to do it; it's never worked. But there's a fine line, and that's why we talked about this extreme evaluation they do and background checks, and go talk to the high school coach and talk to his friends in college and his neighbors in college. I mean, it's a major business with billions and billions of dollars involved.
Have you ever seen the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner?
No, I have not.
You got to check that out.
I'm not a movie guy.
Well,
I just saw The Godfather like 6 years ago.
No,
the
you
first
did not.
time.
No, you did
I
not.
was threatened by a
anyway,
friend to watch it.
check out Draft Day, and it gives you a pretty good assessment of what goes on the day of the draft, and it's the actual things that go on and the moves that Kevin Costner pulls off are a little far-fetched, and they use a little poetic license with that, but the reality of it is it's the same thing, where he calls his college coach and asks him a couple questions about what happened in his junior year and what happened, you know, at this particular venue. So, yeah, you're right. The vetting process is very, very involved and technical, and with the amount of money that they're throwing out there, it's you know, it's well within their prerogative to do so.
Well, and you know, the movie The Blind Side, which I did see, kind of gave people a look at the college recruiting and stuff. How all the coaches were taking turns coming in the door. Ed Orgeron was in that movie, as a matter of fact. So so it's definitely 100 times more than the average fan might realize, and I think sometimes they may be shocked to know how far and how deep some of that stuff actually does go. All right, as we push towards the end of the first hour of the program, lots to come in hour number 2. A lot more LSU baseball. We'll have some Saints. We'll have some college basketball. It is March Madness. It is tournament time. Buzzers are going off all over the place. There's going to be upsets. There's going to be Cinderella stories. There's going to be a half-court shot go in. All of that good stuff's happening with March Madness. Pelican Broadcasting, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com and YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. You can check out a lot of our programming at your convenience, again, at YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Rick Green, Tommy Krysan, we've got a lot more. Talk to you again in a minute.
It's a male flag.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology, and our highly trained staff, have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation, because we know how to make you smile.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a formal affair.
Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. We continue with Tigers Roar here. Rick Green, Tommy Chrysan, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Cox Cable, AT&T, Uverse, and of course the internet at pelicansportstv.com and youtube.com/Pelican Broadcast. And Rick, let's talk a little something you and I are quite familiar with, the game of baseball. We both love it, been a part of our lives forever and still is. LSU goes on the road, gets to play in a major league ballpark, which is kind of cool, although it happens a whole lot more now than it did back in the day. And they went against some really good teams. We know that not this weekend, but the following weekend, the SEC grind starts 10 weekends. I mean, home and away, and you can run into a buzzsaw. Lose to TCU, the #1 team in the country, 9-6. Beat Baylor, yet another unbelievable pitching performance from Jared Poche. Lose to Texas Tech on a ball off the pitcher's foot in the bottom of the 9th inning, and rained out last night against San Diego on Tuesday night. Some games coming up, 9-3. Rick, first talk about the fact of going on the road and playing 3 ranked quality teams and what that will do to help down the road.
Yeah, that's invaluable, and you get to soak in all the pomp and circumstance of the big league park, but it's a great test at the beginning of the year, and it's way better than playing some of the midweek games that you get to play. Not to discount those games because they all count, but when you're facing an undefeated team like Baylor and they run into a hot pitcher like Jared Poche, he just continued. Alex Lang got banged around a little bit, which is just not going to happen every weekend, so he had an off day, and they're allowed to do that. Then, like you said, it was a close game on Sunday versus Texas Tech. So 1-2, but they gained a lot of experience. I think Paul and Alan found out, some guys could play and some guys could play a little bit better than others and handle some pressure. So they're all valuable and they all mean a whole lot. I think it was a great deal for the Shriners Hospital, which was advertising during the game, and they do a tremendous job with their 22 hospitals around. They put on a great show, and I think they had a good showing with all the teams involved. But a good weekend for other things other than wins and losses. So it was a good deal.
Well, in a minute we'll get to some video with Coach Maneri and a couple of the players talking about some of that action over the weekend. But Rick, this is no secret what I'm about to say. You've got to finish games that you lead in the 7th, 8th, 9th inning. In Major League Baseball, for example, they know they're going to win 50 and they're going to lose 50. What you do in the other 62 will determine your season. And in the Major Leagues, that's why relievers and closers get the big bucks that they get now. If you're in the 7th, 8th, 9th inning of a game, you got to finish that thing and get that W. That's one of them ones you can't let get away. College baseball, obviously, with a 56-game schedule, the numbers are a little different. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. You got to finish the ones you're winning. Now, in 2 of LSU's losses, the bullpen let things get away against New Orleans and against Texas Tech when they led 3-1 going to the 7th. You play big league baseball, even though that was a few years ago, it's the same thing. You got to finish that and get the win when you're in position to get it.
Yeah, the one thing that I've tried to teach kids, and you're involved with youth baseball as well, and even in high school, is every pitcher, and I'm biased because I'm a pitcher obviously, but every pitcher has to be a closer. And what that means is that every inning you have to close the inning, whether it's the 1st, 4th, 7th in high school or the 9th in pro ball or college, is that every pitcher, just by human nature, I've seen it happen millions of times. You get 2 quick outs, and then something happens and you walk a guy and there's an error and then there's a base hit and you give up a run with 2 outs. Every pitcher has to be a closer. the Skip that talked about this all the time. You have to double and triple your concentration percentage at all times during the game. You can't really let down. Concentrate hard when you're supposed to, and then when things are either potentially getting out of hand, double and triple your concentration percentage. A ball off the glove, and the Texas Tech catcher had a big problem with this during that game. Ball right off the glove that hit him right in the glove and bounces away, lack of concentration. You're right. Finishing the games as a team effort, but starting with the pitcher, if they know they're in the 5th inning or 6th inning and they have 2 outs, it's time to buckle down and finish off that inning and be the closer for that inning.
All right, we got some video for you. Coach Paul Maneri and Cole Freeman talking about some of the action from over the weekend over in Houston, Texas.
I mean, he's just got good stuff. He's a good pitcher. You know, he's a taller pitcher than usually you see. He's got that nice downward angle. You know, he was getting ahead of us, and he was throwing that little cut fastball for a strike, and that was big for him. He left a couple curveballs up, and I mean, really, I mean, just all around, he was just a good pitcher. I mean, we knew coming in we were going to face a good pitcher, and I mean, he showed why he's one of the best.
After a game like this, do you kind of wish you were seeing them 2 more times to kind of continue to prove yourself? I mean, I know you're seeing good teams this weekend, but...
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you can get a chance to play #1 team in the country, you know, you get up and you know, there's that extra little oomph behind it. But, yeah, I mean, that's a team hopefully we're going to see down the road. I mean, we knew they were a great team coming in, and they showed why they're #1. But, you know, I think we didn't play a good, crisp game. We were right there and then. I think there's some things we need to clean up. But, I mean, once again, they showed why they're a #1 team, and we got a little work to do.
Coach said that it was a strange game. Even going back to some of y'all's runs, I mean, the blue singles kind of landing in. It was just a lot of weird things happening.
Yeah, I mean, that first 2 innings took, I think an hour. Especially at first, you know, our first at bat, we had two little Judy shots and then a bad hop over. It was definitely a weird game, but, I mean, that's baseball, you know. You never know what's going to come, and I think they just might have responded a little bit better. They played a little cleaner game, but we'll be back tomorrow.
Well, it was just an off night for him. He didn't have great fastball command either. He just fell behind on so many counts tonight. He just, you know, all year, from the time he's arrived back with his bullpens, with his inter-squad scrimmages, all the way through last weekend, he's had outstanding control. And I think tonight he couldn't find the rhythm. He just didn't have good command. He fell behind on a lot of counts. And when he had to come in there, you know, they didn't miss a couple of pitches. And you give him a lot of credit too. When he did get 2 strikes on guys, he was having a tough time putting them away. They kept fouling off a lot of break balls, and you know, they're battlers, and you know, that's why they have such a good team. So, you know, listen, everybody's entitled to have one off night, and Alex will be fine. He'll be back strong next week, I'm sure. But it obviously got us off to a rough start tonight, you know, in the first inning. And then we had a heck of a bottom of the first inning. I thought that, you know, we had some fortuitous balls, you know, little blue balls and stuff, but we had some good at-bats and, you know, had it going and could have just finished off that inning. You know, we had second and third 1 out and couldn't put the ball in play one time. It would have been nice to get that one more run, because I knew Texas Christian had a very good offensive team. And then, of course, when Alex went out there in the second inning, you know, then he just had a tough time again. So, you know, we hung in there. We battled right to the very end. And, you know, Jake Slaughter hit that last ball hard, right on the nose, and unfortunately it was right at him. But it was kind of a strange game in a lot of ways. We had some breaks, and then we had some bad fortune as well. I guess if I was in their shoes, they could probably say the same thing. So we're just going to have to put it behind us and get ready for tomorrow. Play another great ball club tomorrow.
Meanwhile, LSU, Jared Poche, you know what he's done this season. 1 no-hitter and another one into the 9th. Taking on Baylor in Houston. He got TJ Raguse and then Matt Menard. 7 innings, 3 hits, 5 Ks. He's been unbelievable. To the 6th, LSU up 2-zip. Greg Dykman, goodbye. The home of the Stros. Then Shea Langolier. Watch Kramer Robertson from his shortstop position get it.
Impressive.
I remember Derek Jeter doing that a time or two. remember a time.
Welcome back to SEC Now. Busy day on the Diamond across the conference. This one's the Shriner Hospital College Classic. LSU taking on 19th ranked Texas Tech. How about Josh Smith handles it, crosses the diamond, gets the out game, but stay tied in the first, or in the sixth rather. Top bottom seventh. Now 3-3. Hunter Newman on relief. Josh Young rips another on the left side. This time Smith can't get it. Red Raiders take a 4-3 lead, but you know it's LSU, right? No rally possum yet, but LSU has Bo Jordan at third, 2 outs. Kramer Robinson takes ball 4, but the ball gets to the pass, the catcher. Jordan would score. Game tied at 4. Extra innings, let's do this. Well, you got to get to extra innings. Bottom 9, Newman in another jam. Terry Gardner, sharp grounder. Newman with the kick save. Robinson can't get it. Texas Tech.
As we mentioned, Rick, that team will learn from that going forward. And I've said a couple of times, it's all about you're playing a quality team. You're not going to beat, TCU's number 1 in the country for a reason because they've been in the World Series 3 straight years. Right. Jim Schlossnagle, the former Tulane assistant, does a great job there as well. And Baylor and Texas Tech are probably tournament teams. We'll all see. LSU is probably a tournament team. But looking at the things coming up, obviously they got the rain out Tuesday night against San Diego. San Diego will be in New Orleans for the long weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a rare 4-game set with the Tulane Green Wave. In Lake Charles on Wednesday night to play McNeese. This weekend, Wichita State comes to town with Todd Butler as their coach, a former Arkansas and Alabama assistant. Speaking of Wichita State, we got a little something for you here, Mr. Rick Green.
Oh, here we go.
Enjoy. All of you enjoy.
LSU has taken a 6-1 lead. He faced, and only Jason White stood in the way of the LSU goal. He is run out away from the national championship for LSU. Here's the pitch to White. A little tap down the third base side. Moose got it. Throw to first. And LSU has won the national championship. It had been a brilliant College World Series for Skip Bertman's entire team. Their explosive bats set series records by averaging 12 runs per game and tied another record with 9 home runs. The defense set the series record for fielding percentage with just 1 error in 4 games. And of course, several outstanding pitches.
I'm sure you didn't mind seeing that again, sir.
It never gets old.
You talked about it a couple weeks ago, how long it took that ball to get across the infield, but that was the first of the now 6 College World Series titles, and it was against Wichita State. They're coming to town this weekend, so we thought we'd spring that little clip on you there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That always makes me feel good, and it's a great memory for sure.
Yeah, that'll be there forever, so that's good stuff. We will take a break. We will come back and continue to run through the LSU athletic department. Lots of stuff still to come on this week's edition of Tigers Roar. Rick, before we go to break, let me get through my notes here. Again, tell us about the Win Green Foundation.
The Win Green Foundation and Win Green campaign is something that we're doing every summer. It was a collaboration between myself and Ivan Zweig, who is a pitcher at Tulane and LSU. His 9-year-old daughter Avery is the #1 junior golfer for her age group in the world. And a couple years ago, she had a friend that was battling cancer, and we got together, and she wound up doing on her own, raising about $7,500 for the janitor at her school, and gave the donations and the proceeds to him to help him battle cancer. Last year, we found a little boy in Monroe, Louisiana, named Kason Crow, who was battling cancer, and gave him some money. She actually got some people to help her with her efforts. Now it's basically global. We've got golfers all over the United States and including Canada and also in England that are going to help with this year's campaign. Sadie Keller is a little girl from Dallas who's battling cancer and just wins over everybody's heart. But back to Avery and her Win Green campaign efforts. She takes pledges off of the website for when she does well in her tournaments. You can pledge a certain amount for when she finishes first or when she finishes in the top 5. She's always playing up in tournaments with older kids than her age. She's trying to challenge herself, and she's getting better every day and has tremendous aspirations. her dad is her caddy, and they go around and they do a tremendous job. We're blessed to be associated with it. To SDF.org, we'll have some information, but Win Green campaign for all of your donation and information that you would need off of the website. We're trying to drive awareness for childhood cancer. St. Jude in Memphis has become a partner with us as well, and we donated some money to them last summer. So we're so fortunate and blessed. Avery is just a tremendous young lady, 9 years old, and really has a tremendous head on her shoulders. So we're very lucky, and it's a great deal. You can get involved by going to the website and donating, and we're just blessed, and we look forward for great things from her.
Sounds great. All right, when we come back, we'll continue our run through the LSU athletic department. Got a little softball, a little gymnastics for you. All of that and more when we continue with Tigers Roar. Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Everyone's coming out with a fresh start. Bars are going to be banging, elbows are swinging, and the gloves are coming off.
Experience motocross more intense with AMSOIL Arena Cross. Before the race, check out the track party and get autographs, take photos, and meet the riders. Stop by any Brothers Food Mart location and pick up a can of Monster Energy 16-ounce at 2 for $4 and recycle at the pit entrance for your free admission to the track party. Brothers Food Mart, often imitated, never duplicated. AMSOIL Arena Cross, fueled by Monster Energy. Saturday, March 11th at the Smoothie King Center.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
DLA Painting Incorporated is your company for professional painting, serving the greater Baton Rouge area and South Louisiana for over 20 years. Ready to paint for those recovering from flood, residential repaint, commercial painting, any size job, free estimates. Customer satisfaction is our highest priority. Call 225-505-8785. DLA Painting Incorporated, fully insured. Call Dennis at DLA Painting at 225-505-8785.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
Continue with Tigers Roar. About to roll through some more stuff with the LSU Athletic Department. But first off, we got to tell you about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Mike Tremonti and his staff Jefferson Highway, just down the street from Parkview Baptist Church and School. Tremonti's.com, 751-7665. Crawfish. They've got them ready every afternoon. Call them up, tell them how many you need. They can cater your crawfish boil. They can boil them on site, bring them to you already cooked. If you buy live crawfish, they give you the seasoning at no charge that you need for that sack of crawfish. And coming up on Saturday, March 18th, a tremendous meat sale. Save money, fill your freezer, fill your neighbor's freezer, buy another freezer and fill it. Everything from the hamburger patties to the steaks to the ribeyes to the prime rib, you name it. Tremendous meat sale Saturday, March 18th at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Visit the website, Tremonti's.com. Give them a call. Again, the daily lunch specials, the wines, the high-end spirits, the grills, the ice chest, the crawfish, Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. If you want to check it out, if you go there, I promise you, you'll go back. And again, keep it on the calendar, Saturday, March 18th, the big meat sale. We'll tell you more about that as we get close, and that's actually not that far away. Rick, as we continue to talk about the LSU athletic department, what a story the gymnastics team has become. Dee Bro in her 40th year as head coach. She probably don't want me to say that too many times, but her 40th year, and this day had the third largest crowd ever last weekend, and the number 2 LSU team beat number 3 Florida. Now that score on the screen, Rick, somebody made the analogy to me, football. We can understand that scoring better than gymnastics scoring. That is like a number 2 football team playing number 3 and winning 42-7. That's the gap in that 198 and change to the 196 and change. And that was number 2 versus number 3, and it clinched the SEC season title for Coach Bro. They will host New Hampshire coming up later this weekend. And then the following weekend over in Jacksonville, Florida, it'll be the Southeastern Conference tournament. And I would think they are odds-on favorite there. Lots of really good gymnastics in the Southeastern Conference. We were able to get some video for you on Coach Dee Bro, as well as a couple of the gymnasts who compete for the Tiger gymnastics team. And right now, enjoy a little LSU gymnastics.
So there's a tremendous amount of gratification and satisfaction in a job well done, because it's not based on one night. It's based on your entire body of work. And this team's body of work has been superlative.
Definitely trying to stay and doing the same thing that I do in practice every single day. I think that our lineup ahead of me was incredible, and those are the vaults that set you up. And it's an honor to be able to cap off that position for me personally. So it's just my contribution to the team.
I knew we were going to do it just from the first vault. This team, we know how to rally, and we've shown that throughout this whole season. But you know, like Dee says, it starts from that first vault and ends with bugs on the floor. So you just thrive off of how everyone is continually hitting, and when you do that, you can't help but have that sense of pride and confidence when you get out on the floor.
I mean, I would say that we're definitely not thinking about the other team, and that's kind of our goal as we get out on the floor, is to be so in tune with what we're doing that we're drowning everything else out in terms of other teams and who's on the floor with us. And tonight was a good representation of that, of just being so in tune with our routines, so who's going up in the lineups, that we were just able to produce that energy within ourselves that we didn't really need anybody else out there.
And again, they will go against New Hampshire, obviously a non-conference meet, and then they'll have the SEC meet in Jacksonville on the weekend of March the 18th, and that'll be tough sledding there. Also going on in the spring, obviously, softball. Coach Beth Torina's team off to a very good start this year, 18-4 overall. A couple of wins you see on the screen there against Florida Atlantic and against Troy. As they had the LSU Invitational last weekend. They begin conference play this coming weekend over in Auburn against Auburn. And Beth Torina has done a really good job with that softball program. I mean, they've got that, the guys try to go to Omaha, the girls try to go to Oklahoma City, and they've got that path carved out. Beth's done a wonderful job.
Yeah, she obviously had big shoes to fill with Yvette leaving, but Beth has done a tremendous job, and they recruit just as hard as any other organization on campus, and I know a lot of their support staff and the girls that are on the team are just as competitive as as anybody out there as well. So congratulations to them on their recent success, and good luck when the conference starts.
And of course, the basketball team tangling as we speak with Mississippi State SEC tournament, which is up in Nashville. The women are waiting to find out about their postseason tournament with Coach Nikki Fargas. They're 20-11 overall, so I would think they get in. And of course, the situation with Johnny Jones has been reported earlier in the week that LSU will part ways with him. I don't think that report should surprise anybody. We'll just let that play and go. They've already had a long list of possible candidates or guys that might be the next coach, and we'll just let that go as it is until there's an official announcement out of LSU. But if you're a college basketball fan, tournaments galore. I had a few tournaments last week. Some teams have already punched their ticket to the Final Four. The rest of that, a lot of tickets getting punched through the rest of the week, and then, of course, Selection Sunday, and then it's March Madness. Do you fill out brackets or a bracket? I do one bracket.
I occasionally, but I don't know if you heard about those 4 Richmond Spider baseball players that filled out a bracket
And
last
got
year.
ineligible.
And now they're suspended. So you got to be careful nowadays. You
Well,
never know.
I don't think I'm going to get suspended.
Well, you never know.
Well,
But, I do fill out one just for
kicks and giggles.
Exactly.
Well,
right.
it's kind of funny though. I fill out one bracket, okay, and I don't follow the game that well. Half of it's guessing, okay, and of course sometimes, but it cracks me up when you get these guys that they fill out like 14 brackets, and then they start bragging about their bracket at the office where they're doing really well in. I said, well, you let me fill out 14 brackets, and one of them might be good as well,
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway. March Madness, it's a spectacle, it's TV, I mean, it's internet, it's going to be something to see, no question about that. We'll see how that goes. If you're a college basketball fan, it's about to be your prime time. Rick, before we go to break, again, tell us about the Two Seam Dream Foundation.
Yeah, the Two Seam Dream was started about 5 years ago. A couple of family members came down with cancer, and it kind of just hits you. And through some research and some support, we figured out that it was time for us to kind of give back to the community that has supported me for almost 30 years now. And we do a lot of events and try to help out Mary Bird Perkins and St. Jude up in Memphis as well, and a lot of the local community that are affected by cancer. And if you don't have cancer yourself, then someone in your family probably had it, or one of your good friends probably gets it. And Louisiana incidence of cancer is extremely high, almost the tops in the nation, and we're just trying to do what we can to help that out. We're coming up with our Cooking for a Cure event in August, which will be at Lamar Dixon. This will be our 3rd annual. We got a lot of cooking teams out there. We'll have jambalaya, brisket, chicken and ribs, and it's a real good time. We have a band and a lot of raffles, silent auctions, and bounce houses for the kids, and it's a super time. We love pulling that off, and it's underneath cover, so it's not too hot, but that's our big event, along with the Win Green campaign, which is on our website as well during the summer. So we're blessed. We love giving back to the community. The Pelican has supported us. Tommy's been there behind us the entire time, and we're just fortunate enough to be able to give back to the community of Baton Rouge.
2sdf.org. You see the address on your screen there. Tons of information there. And, of course, you can always contact us at the Pelican, and we can direct you to Rick as need be. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got another little college basketball topic for you, and it's really a remarkable story. It's for all you folks that are UNO Privateer fans, or you're down there in the Crescent City, or you're just college basketball fan, because we talked about March Madness, we talked about a tournament. That could very well be the only team from Louisiana in the men's postseason. We'll get into that and more when we continue with more of Tigers Roar. Spread the roar. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. Ni hao.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
If you've been injured in an accident and you won your case, we can get you your cash fast.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
If you're a victim of an accident, bad drug case, or any other legal settlement, Penn Funding can get you paid in one lump sum.
Instead of my small monthly payments, Penn Funding got me my money when I needed it the most.
Turn your small monthly settlement payments into one large cash payoff right now. If your case is settled, you qualify. And no one can get your money faster than Penn Funding. There's no risk, obligation, or out-of-pocket cost when you make this life-changing call.
I called, answered the questions, and received my cash payoff quickly.
Need cash for your children? To fix your car, pay the bills. If your case is settled and you're a victim of an accident, bad drug case, or any other legal settlement, it's your money. Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-825-1325, 800-825-1325.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
DLA Painting Incorporated is your company for professional painting, serving the greater Baton Rouge area and South Louisiana for over 20 years. Ready to paint for those recovering from flood, residential repaint, commercial painting, any size job, free estimates. Customer satisfaction is our highest priority. Call 225-505-8785. DLA Painting Incorporated, fully insured. Call Dennis at DLA Painting at 225-505-8785.
Everyone's coming out with a fresh start. Bars are going to be banging, elbows are swinging, and the gloves are coming off.
Experience motocross more intense with Amsoil Arena Cross. Before the race, check out the track party and get autographs, take photos, and meet the riders. Stop by any Brothers Food Mart location and pick up a can of Monster Energy 16 ounce at 2 for $4 and recycle at the pit entrance for your free admission to the track party. Brothers Food Mart, often imitated, never duplicated. Amsoil Arena Cross, fueled by Monster Energy. Saturday, March 11th at the Smoothie King Center.
Rejuva-Me Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
We continue with Tigers Roar, tell you about the radio station WUBR. Yeah, CBS Sports Radio, the home of the Jim Rome Show from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. A mixture of local programming, including Jordy Hultberg, talking baseball with Roger Kadar, which is Mondays, 12 noon and 5 p.m. Buddy Sanji, myself. Fridays finds Dave Scandaliato. If you like to wager on sports, don't miss that show Fridays from 5 to 6. Saturdays find Carlos Brown, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. We'll have select Houston Astro baseball games again this season, like we did last year. And through the night, we'll give you Louisiana Music Hall of Fame Radio, hosted by Mike Shepard. Great Louisiana talent on display. Members of the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. You really need to check that out through the night. Of course, we've got our own app now. Go to your app store or Google Play. Just search WUBR Pelican Radio, and you will have us crystal clear. Take us wherever you go, out of town, out of the state, out of the country. It doesn't matter. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. Do check it out when you get a chance. Before we went to the break, we were talking some March Madness, some college basketball, and quite the story down in New Orleans, where the University of New Orleans Privateers men's team with Coach Mark Schlesinger, they won the regular season title in the Southland Conference. We all know about Katrina in August of 2005. You know, UNO didn't know if that would be a school again. There was lots of questions about the athletic department. Would they keep it? Would they be Division III? Would they eliminate some of the sports? Lots of stuff. And, you know, they've managed to keep it going, and baseball's on the rise with former LSU Tiger Blake Dean. They're doing a lot better than they were a few years ago. And Mark Schlesinger and the basketball team won the Southland Conference, and they have Eric Thomas, who was the Southland Conference Player of the Year. Guess what? He played at Baton Rouge Community College before going to UNO. He's a senior for the Privateers from down in Wesley Chapel, Florida. Help me out. Where's Wesley Chapel, Florida?
No
I
idea.
don't know. Me neither. I should have looked that up. But anyway, we have a little special. Much congrats. A huge tip of the hat from everybody at the Pelican. Here's a little UNO basketball. Enjoy this.
It's a blessing, man. Blessing in disguise for us, man. Just another accomplishment. It's great for our team. It's great for our program, and it's just helping us, you know, build our program up. And I'm just happy, man. It feels great to win this.
Not only to win Player of the Year, but also get a Coach of the Year. That's what's like to kind of sweep both of those awards for your program this year.
I mean, it's a great award, just from winning conference champs to Coach of the Year, Player of the Year. It's all a big accomplishment for us that we set a year ago in the summer, and you know, it just feels good. You know, it's just thank God that all these goals came possible, and we just have so much more to accomplish. And really, we just got to keep working hard. You know, just as a team, and I was just happy that, you know, we as a team were able to get these accomplishments.
And Coach always talks about, I'm sure you're aware of the names that come along with this program, the Bo McCalebs, the Romeros, the Irvin Johnsons. Just what's it like to kind of have your name thrown up there with those guys as the next Player of the Year with this program?
It feels good, man, just to be, you know, with the greatest that came through this university and program. Guys who have been under Celeste or have been part of this program. It just feels great. You know, making history and just setting the path for guys that are coming behind me.
Such a huge day for us. It's not men's basketball isn't just a champion today, but our university is a champion. Our faculty, students, and staff are champions. Our alumni are champions. And the city that we love is a champion again. And it's pretty awesome.
It's certainly been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Your 6th year at the school.
Yeah.
Can you kind of describe the process of?
Well, it's been a phenomenal rebuild to try to. It's been a tough rebuild. We've been relentlessly positive. We've had undefeated attitude, and you know, when we didn't have maybe the physical resources we needed, we had the personal resources, and we invested more and more in our student athletes. We worked with them more, we spent more time with them, and the payoff is what you see today. You see guys that love each other, you see guys that play hard for each other, that love playing for our university and for our city. I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier.
When you came here, that was at the point where the school was looking at going Division III.
Correct. Yeah. My first year we played as a provisional Division II, and then Dr. Foss, our previous president, came in and made a very bold, brave decision to keep us Division I, and Dr. Nickel, our current president, has carried that tradition on, and we're proud to do that under their leadership. Both those guys have been phenomenal, and I'm very blessed to have worked for Dr. Foss and worked for Dr. Nico. And it's just a great experience. This city deserves a public university that's Division I. We're proud to be that.
How much is all that in mind when you achieve something like this?
Well, it's huge. It's huge. You know, I'm very mindful of the history of our program and what we were. We were a mid-major power, in the 80s and early 90s. I'm very, very aware of that. And I'm very aware of the legacy that's there. And my job and duty is to try to get us as close to that as I can each day and move one step closer, all while representing our university and our city. And I think we're doing a pretty decent job of it today. I'm sure I'll be judged again tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. I got to win people tomorrow, and we got to be good tomorrow. But today, I think we've done a pretty fair job.
Today, you guys had a nice, healthy lead early in the second half. Of course, Nichols made a couple of runs.
Yeah.
What did you guys need to do?
Well, Nichols is a very good team. They're very dangerous. They're as good a three-point shooting team as there is in our league. Coach Riley's done a phenomenal job of getting those guys there and did a great job this year coaching under some tough circumstances. But we just got back down to Garden. We didn't give up easy baskets. We managed the ball and got the ball when we needed to and got to the free throw line. And we just executed the end of a game that we let one slip out of our hands, the last two, and we were very disappointed. But we kept coaching. We didn't let up. We didn't throw a temper tantrum. We had to keep teaching and keep coaching.
And with the beauty of smartphones and the internet, we now know where Wesley Chapel, Florida is.
North of Tampa.
Just north of Tampa. That's what, see, you're from Miami. I said, man, when I know I blindsided you with the question, I said, maybe if I ask this question, maybe by chance he'll know.
Yeah,
of course, you didn't, but we looked it up. No, I dropped the ball. Shouldn't have asked you probably. Better yet, I should have looked it up before the show sometime.
There's
okay?
a novel idea.
So there's the don't transfer blame. My fault, right? Right? Doesn't Skip say no TOB? Don't transfer blame. Yeah, that is a national pastime. Boy, don't we know that. Hey, we'll take a break. When we come back, we will a little New Orleans Saints for you. Of course, they were at the Combine, and they're getting ready. They're going to train in Metairie this year, not going back to West Virginia. So New Orleans Saints stuff coming up for you when we return with more of Tigers Roar. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. Internet, PelicanSportsTV.com, YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology and our highly trained staff, have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
With Tigers Roar, I want to tell you about the House of Jumba. I'll tell you quite simply, they fed the Pelican crew and some other people. People just show up when we get House of Jumba at the station. We had some unbelievably good jambalaya. We had some white beans and all kind of stuff. House of Jumba, located in the heart of Mid-City, 4800 block of Government Street. Daily lunch specials, you can eat there. You can get it to go. Get the pork roast with the rice and gravy. I highly recommend that. They have a catering menu. If you're going to be going out to the baseball park, you want to get some catering going, you're going to the St. Patrick's Day Parade, catering menu at House of Jumba. Call Judy, 225-926-0970. Stop by 4800 block of Government Street. Again, you can eat there, you can get it to go. Make sure you grab a catering menu when you are there. Jambalaya, gumbo, all the side dishes, some outstanding desserts as well. House of Jumba. We want you to check that out real soon. All right, we continue with more of Tigers Roar here in the New Orleans Saints. Kind of been flying under the radar a little bit, but Thursday, March 9th, free agency period opens up in the NFL. There's going to be some contracts, some guys cut, some trades. There'll be a lot of flurry of activity. Remains to see how much the Saints may or may not be involved with that. They do have a little wiggle room in the salary cap, a little more than they've had in previous years, I should say. They don't have a lot, but more than previously. And we'll see what they do with all of that. And, of course, leading up to the draft. Of course, there's rumors about trading Brandon Cooks, the wide receiver, young guy who's got, many people think, a tremendous upside. And, of course, the draft coming up. We've got Sean Payton talking about the draft, Brandon Cooks, and other New Orleans Saints stuff for you. Without any further ado, here is the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, Sean Payton.
Sean Payton, Saints making headlines at the Combine here this week. You don't mind if we start with the news?
Not at all.
Your former first-round pick, wide receiver Brandon Cooks, has been the subject of trade talk, and rumors are lots of teams are interested. How could something like that help to improve your roster?
Well, look, I think one of the things that every team does when the season's over with and they get to the Combine, they're looking for ways to, for us specifically, improve our defense. And you have X amount of assets. It might be draft picks or money to spend in free agency. And Brandon's someone that, I mean, we think the world of. I love him. Not only is he a great player, he's a special guy. And yet Mickey's position, if you do get a phone call from a team or another team, you're always going to listen. And I think I think 3 days ago that speculation started. I understand it. But as we're trying to improve on defense, you look at every avenue that might give you that chance, and whether it's picks or defensive players, Mickey does a good job of handling that, communicating that in the evenings, and yet we'll communicate with Brandon like, hey, listen, we're not just out here, going around the combine looking to trade Brandon Cooks. I mean, just, finished with 1,200 yards receiving and, had a great season himself.
So if we kind of focus on the defense, when you're here, you're evaluating and you're in the formal interviews, what makes you say, what is it about a player that makes you say, I want that guy on my team?
I think the 15-minute formal interview, the air horn blows, I think we've gotten so much more efficient with what do we really need in 15 minutes. We're going to be able to get workout dates. We're going to be able to get his agent. We're going to get all the, so it's a little bit about you and your family, and then at least 10 minutes of can he learn?
Can you share, take us behind the scenes of how do you learn that in 15 minutes?
No, real simply. Generally, the prospect comes into the room. The scouts are in the room. Mickey Loomis, myself, Jeff Ireland, and the position coach, and the prospect sits down. And, 3 years ago, everyone in the room shook hands with this prospect, and that takes 3 minutes. So we're not doing that, all right? We're going to shake hands, quickly sit down. Jeff's going to hit some pertinent information. Tell me a little bit about your family, where you're from, what kind of household, who you close with. That might take 3 minutes. All right, we're going to turn it over to the position coach, and the position coach is going to have an install, and the prospect can take notes. We might have them get up on the board, or we might put some video up. Depending on the position, this test, if you will, varies. Now, when we get to that test, we're hoping there's 10 minutes left in the interview. If there's a prospect that's coming in and we've got maybe some more questions to have answered than usual, we might be at 8 minutes or 7 minutes. And we also have a chance to have this player potentially be one of our 30 visits after the combine. And so I think we've all gotten better. The teams have all gotten better at using those 15 minutes more efficiently.
Using the clock.
Yeah, using the clock. Right away, get in this chair, and we're going to try to make you feel uncomfortable.
What did you make of this quarterback class and how they performed?
I like this class. I like this class. I mean, if you took the national championship Clemson team and you looked at Deshaun Watson, and if you're around him or you've had a chance to just interview him or be around him, he's going to continue to win. And so it's those traits that you see. And I think, look, I thought it was it's always tough when they come here. They get 6 or 7 brand new balls. It's about 68 degrees in there, so it's cold, and they're going to sail a few passes. But I think if we pay attention to the film and we look closely at how they played when they were behind, how they led their team, how many years have they played as a starter? Were they a captain? You do enough digging and you find out about the makeup, and then it's the skill set. And I think sometimes when we're looking closely at these quarterbacks, we have to project. I think the worst thing we can do is say, well, how's he going to fit into the exact offense we run right now? That fluctuates based on when that quarterback comes to a new team. When it becomes his time, and it happened with Prescott in Dallas, and it happens throughout the league, it's important to do the things that he does well.
Anybody you have your eye on?
I'm at the NFL fan experience right here. And, yeah, there are a handful of guys I have my eye on.
I didn't expect you to say a name, but just sort of the anticipation of.
I like Brady over there in the Michigan uniform. I want that. Can we focus on that guy? I want Brady.
I don't think he's available.
One thing Coach Payton said in that little piece that really caught my attention when he says, can the guy learn? Is he coachable? I mean, that, it is a severely intellectual game at that level, as it is in other levels, but even more so in the NFL. So these coaches, they got that 15-minute window, and they want to know, can this guy learn whatever our system is? Can he learn the X's and O's? Can he learn the ins and outs? They know what he can run in the 40. They know if he can catch and throw and all that. They want to know, can he learn, which an analogy of that is the guy coachable? And if they don't think he can learn or they don't think he's coachable, he's going to go down the list on their priority.
Right, and a step further from that is, I call this the Heisman Trophy theory, is that how many Heisman Trophy winners have been tremendously successful in the NFL? And the answer is not many, because the Heisman Trophy winners are as good as they're going to get, usually at their junior or senior year in college. The most successful ones, like Tom Brady, are the ones that learn, adapt, and get better over the course of their career, and those are the Hall of Fame guys. So you're right. You're looking for that guy that's going to learn, adapt, be coachable, because if you walk into that interview like Coach Payton said and think that you're not able to learn or you're not going to respond well to coaching and criticism, then that's not the type of guy that they're looking for.
Well, you know, Tom Brady is a 6th-round draft choice, and he got up there and he learned. You know, Aaron Rodgers was on the bench in Green Bay for a while, learning.
Right.
You know, so maybe that doesn't get enough attention. Maybe I need to, you know, expound on that more often, even when you're recruiting for a kid to come out of high school to college. Can he learn? Can he figure things out? Will he work hard and make himself better? You know, because even at the collegiate level, it's intellectual. You know, you and I played baseball, and the old saying is, baseball is only dull to those with a dull mind, because there's signs being flashed constantly, whether you're out in the field playing defense or whether you're batting, you're in the dugout. I mean, there's a lot going on, and for baseball players, there's a lot to remember, even in the youth leagues or the travel ball. I mean, there's signs, there's decoy signs, there's dummy signs, and then that's like times a million when you get to the NFL, the major leagues, or the NBA.
Yeah, there's always a game within the game. And you and I watch sports, and especially baseball, differently than the average fan. So when you're playing the game, your athletic ability will take over certain aspects. But to play within the game and do certain things that aren't necessarily coachable or teachable, and have that intuition and that awareness of the game, and doing certain things that are just instinctive, you know, it's hard to see that on an NFL combine type of thing. You can maybe pick up some of that when you throw a question to a guy in an interview process like that. In practice, you're going to see it more by the things that they do physically, because you know certain things, but then when they do something that kind of surprises you and is out of the ordinary, then I think that's what the coaches really look for, the ability to adapt, overcome, improvise, and ultimately be successful.
Yeah, in baseball, I call it, does he have a good baseball IQ? Meaning, can he do all them little things you don't have to tell him more than once about? And that's valuable, and I'm sure that transfers into other sports. Well, Rick, as always, it's a pleasure to visit with you. We probably do this again from time to time as we roll through the spring when baseballs are flying everywhere. Rick Green, a member of that 91 College World Series championship team, the first of what are now 6 titles, and first-round draft choice of the Detroit Tigers. But the thing I like about your resume, played for the U.S. of A., played in the Olympics in Barcelona, Spain for USA. I mean, that's incredible. And then got to the big leagues with the Cincinnati Reds. So appreciate you being here, and best of luck to the Win Green campaign and to the Two Seam Dream Foundation.
Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate the time, and you know, I'm just very fortunate. Like you did say, the playing for Team USA was an invaluable experience, and super blessed, and always happy to come on and talk with you, and thanks for having me.
All right, not a problem. We appreciate Rick Green and all he does to battle cancer as well. All right, that'll put another edition of Tigers Roar in the books for you. Don't forget, it'll be on YouTube mid-morning Thursday. Check it out at your convenience. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. On behalf of everyone on the Pelican Broadcasting team, takes a lot of people to put this together. We appreciate, most importantly, you watching. You've been watching Tigers Roar. Spread the roar. Talk to you again soon.
If you've been injured in an accident and you won your case, we can get you your cash fast.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
If you're a victim of an accident, bad drug case, or any other legal settlement, Penn Funding can get you paid in one lump sum.
Instead of my small monthly payments, Penn Funding got me my money when I needed it the most.
Turn your small monthly settlement payments into one large cash payoff right now.
If your case is settled, you qualify. And no one can get your money faster than Penn Funding. There's no risk, obligation, or out-of-pocket cost when you make this life-changing call.
I called, answered the questions, and received my cash payoff quickly.
Need cash for your children? To fix your car, pay the bills. If your case is settled and you're a victim of an accident, bad drug case, or any other legal settlement, it's your money. Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-825-1325, 800-825-1325.